Hello you guys, it's Katie and welcome back to another video. Today's video I have a full breakdown on how my crochet business did in 2023. So I have a lot to share with you guys in this video as far as how many sales I made, how much money I made, how many views my channel got here on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, and a lot more I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So today's video is going to be a little more chatty, so I hope you guys are okay with that, and I'm just letting you know in the first place. I will insert screenshots of like, here's what it says on Etsy for the full year, here's what it says on YouTube for the full year, so you get an idea of like the analytics side of it. But for the video portion, I am just going to be kind of sitting here and giving you off the numbers. And just so you guys know, I share these types of videos to give you motivation for your own crochet business and to hopefully inspire you to maybe branch out and do markets or start an Etsy or do something along those lines to diversify your income and start making more money from your business. I don't share this in any way, shape, or form to brag or anything like that. I think you guys know that about me, but I do just like to say that at the beginning of these type of videos because it is all just for motivational and inspirational purposes, and I wholeheartedly believe that there is plenty of room for everybody in the crochet space. So please don't take this as me being like, oh, this is how much money I made type thing. It is to share with you that it is possible to run a business like this and make a decent amount of money off of it. And one other thing that I'm sure you guys will probably have questions on, my crochet business is my full-time job. So of course, take that into consideration as well if you're doing your crochet business as just a side hustle, or you're also a full-time student or something along those lines. Obviously you're going to have a lot less time to put into your business than someone like me that it is my full-time job. So also wanted to put that out there. Please don't compare yourself to me just because it's my full-time job and you're only doing it as like an extra little thing on the side. But anyways, with that, we're gonna go ahead and get started on today's video. Now, sometimes I'm really bad at like speaking things out loud. So if I say a number incorrectly, just know what's on the screen is correct. I just want to put that out there because sometimes when I record videos, I am like too in my head or something and I end up saying like the numbers wrong and stuff. So anyways, there's that. But we're just gonna go ahead and get started on analytics for how my business did. So first, I'm gonna go through YouTube analytics and share with you guys how many views I got throughout 2023. So my YouTube channel got a little over 1.5 million views in 2023, which is crazy to even say out loud and very, very crazy for me to think of. And it does say down here that that is a 325% increase from 2022, which is crazy to think about. In 2022, I received way less views, obviously. So I'm very grateful for that increase, of course. And one of my goals for the year 2023 was to hit 1 million views overall on my channel. So the fact that I hit over 1 million views for just the year is crazy. Next, for watch time, which if you're unfamiliar, watch time just means how long people spent watching my videos total. So if you were to watch this video, I've been recording for 4.5 minutes now. It's probably less than 4.5 minutes as you're watching because of course I edit a few things out. But let's just say you watch this video for 4.5 minutes, even if it's like a 30-minute video. You watch it for 4.5 minutes, your 4.5 minutes gets added to the watch hours, and then all of that total is what this analytic is. So in the year 2023, my YouTube channel got 136,601.1 watch hours, and that is a 291% increase from 2022. So again, another crazy statistic to think about. Yeah, it's just like, oh my goodness. To put it in perspective, when you're starting a YouTube channel and trying to get it monetized, the watch time you need to have on your channel is 4,000 watch hours within 365 days. So the fact to have 136,000 watch hours within a year, 365 days, that's crazy. All right, next statistic is going to be how many subscribers I gained in 2023. I gained 11,790 subscribers, which is 183% more than I gained in 2023. So again, another crazy statistic. And if you're wondering, the huge spike that is in the middle of May, specifically, it's actually May 12th. That was the day I specifically remember I posted my giveaway for my 10,000 subscribers. When I hit that, and one of the requirements I had for that giveaway is to be a subscriber, because of course I want to give away things to my subscribers. So I had a big increase on that day, since people, if they wanted to enter, they had to be subscribed. So that's what that big spike is on my analytics there. And now for revenue, I'm going to be saving that to the end. I'm going to go through my analytics for all the platforms, and then we will do revenue for everything, since that's a little bit easier to tell you the revenue and then have it all added up. But I will go ahead and tell you that YouTube is what I made the most money off of in 2023. And when I say making money off YouTube, I just mean through the ads that appear on my videos. I have yet to do any sort of sponsored video or anything like that. So all of the money that I make from YouTube is from being a part of their partnership program and receiving money through you guys viewing the ads on my videos. Next, we're going to move on to Etsy and go to my stats here, and I'm going to give you the breakdown. So for 2023, my Etsy received 27,435 visits, which just means the amount of times that somebody has visited my shop, or I believe it also includes how many times somebody visited my listing, like one singular listing. It doesn't necessarily mean my shop in general. I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna actually Google that, and I'll tell you guys on the screen here if that's right or wrong. But I do believe it is just in general how many visits with all my listings included. And now it does give a little bit more of a breakdown, which is cool. So how buyers found you, and it says 14K of them was from direct traffic. Almost 8,000 of them was from the Etsy app and other pages. Marketing and SEO, which means search engine optimization, was 2,629. Etsy search, which would just mean somebody going directly to Etsy and then searching something and finding my item, is 1,986. And then social media is 841. And then as far as my most popular listings that I had in the year 2023, the first one is my shark inspired by the Squishmallow pattern, and I got 158 orders on that and made $754 on all those orders together. Then the second most popular was my pattern pack, that is the 3 no-sew patterns, a frog, a whale, and an octopus, and I received 122 orders on that and made $728 on that. And then the third most popular was quite a big decrease from 158 and then 122, but that was my digital sign for markets that is explaining to customers why crochet may seem pricey, and I received 37 orders on that and made $237 on that. So those are some cool statistics for the exact listings and then the ways people found my shop and everything. And now for the total orders in 2023, I got 891 orders. So that was a pretty big increase from the year before as well. You can see it comparing the year before. That gray line is 2022 and then the blue line is 2023. Now again, we're gonna skip over revenue and I will talk to you guys about that towards the end of the video. Etsy was my third biggest income source for the year of 2023. The order was YouTube, Markets, and then Etsy. And now the last little statistic I have here to share with you guys for as far as Etsy is the conversion rate, which is the one thing that I have down from the previous year. So 2022 compared to 2023, that is the one thing I have down, and that is down by 24.3% for it to be only 3.2%, which conversion rate is just how many people are actually purchasing once they look at my items. So 3.2% of people throughout the year 2023 purchased from my listings when they were looking at my listings. So I feel like that's not a bad percentage, but that is still lower than the previous year. But anyways, that is my statistics for Etsy. So now we're gonna move on to Square, which is how I take card payments and in general log payments when I'm at Markets. So like I mentioned, Markets was my second highest income source, right behind YouTube. Like I said, I'm gonna save how much I made till the end, but for the sales, I had 387 sales at Markets, and the average sale was $20.26, which it does say was 3.8% down. So that is comparing it to 2022, which in 2022 I only did like 2 or 3 markets, and I did find that at those events, because I had mostly only bigger items, people were buying bigger items and then spending more money, versus in 2023 I started doing a lot more markets and offering a lot more items that are cheaper, so that makes sense that the average sale was down. But I did receive more sales, so of course that makes a big difference. And now that $12 return was actually just a mess up on my part, because somebody was buying something from me that cost $12 and they said, oh, okay, I'll pay with cash. So then I put it in there as a cash transaction, and then they said, actually, never mind, I'm gonna pay with card. So then I had to file it as a return for them to purchase the item. So I don't actually accept returns, and that was just the one time that happened. So that's why it says $12 in returns. But anyways, the main thing I wanted to share with you guys is my top selling items for the year 2023. So I feel like this is pretty interesting. So for bees, I charged $15 for my bees, and I made $345 off of my bees. So that means I sold 23 bees. Next most I made was off of chunky mushrooms, and I made $330 off of those and sold 22 of them. That is another item that I charged $15 for. Next was frogs. I started out the year charging $10 each for them and bumped that up to $12 each. So I made $318 off of frogs and sold 30 of them. Axolotls was the next most. I was using a different pattern at the beginning of the year and charging $20 for those because it took a lot longer to make. Then I switched up which pattern I was using, and it ended up being a lot quicker. So I now charge $14 for those, and between some of the $20 ones and some of the $14 ones, I ended up selling $288 worth of axolotls, and that was 18 axolotls. And finally was chickens in the 5th spot, which I'm very impressed by because I didn't even start selling chickens until September, and I made $276 off of chickens, and that was 23 chickens sold, and I do charge $12 each for those. So I feel like that's a pretty good mix of my top sellers, how much I made off of those top sellers, and that's a good like marker for those of you that are maybe interested in selling at markets and want to know what has sold well for me in the past year. So since those are my main 3 income sources, those are the only ones I'm really going to break down for you guys. So now we're going to get into the actual income and my full breakdown month by month. But just know that I do have other places that I make money from, which I'm going to be sharing with you here. Just some of those I don't feel like it's necessary to go through and give you all the analytics, because if I only made like $10 or something from it, then it's not very interesting to show you. But as always, if you have any sort of questions, I love to chat in the comments with you guys about this sort of stuff. So if you're like, she didn't mention Ribbler and how she makes money on that platform, you can always ask me in the comments below and I will do my best to answer all the questions you may have. But anyways, we're just gonna get on to my income for 2023, and then we are going to break down some expenses as well. So what I'm sharing with you is income, but for platforms that are online such as YouTube and Etsy, I did already subtract the cut that YouTube keeps or the cut that Etsy keeps and Etsy fees and stuff like that. So this is just money that I took home, but then when it comes to markets and stuff, I did not subtract that until the end. So I hope that makes sense. I will kind of explain it more towards the end, like I mentioned. So anyways, for January, I'm gonna scoot over here so I can give you a full like screenshot of my breakdown, which yes, I do just have this in my notes app throughout the year. Like the first day or 2 of each month, I was going back for the previous month and calculating how much I made so that I would have a better idea for this video, as well as just for my own records in general. For YouTube, in the month of January, I made $489.70, which again, every time I'm saying I made money on YouTube, that is just from the ads, and that is the money I took home. That does not include the revenue that YouTube takes. Next income source is Etsy, and I made $132.08 on Etsy. Next we have Ribbler, which is another platform that I share my patterns on, although I do not make near as many sales on there as I do on Etsy. But I did make $27.38 in January. For orders, which when I say orders, I just mean like family, friends, or maybe people that I meet at markets that I do orders for. I don't actually like do orders for people online and ship them or anything, because in my opinion, that's too much of a hassle and I already have so much on my plate with markets, but I do include some orders because I do make money from that. So I made $70 in orders in the month of January. And then affiliate marketing, I have a few platforms that I do affiliate marketing for, and I do have a full video on how to make money with affiliate marketing in your crochet business, so I can link that in the description box below for you guys if you're interested in it. But affiliate marketing in the month of January, I made $10.83. So that was a total of $720.99, which, spoiler alert, that was the least I made out of any of the months, which is a good thing, of course, because I would prefer my income to keep scaling throughout the year. So that was a very low month compared to all the rest. And that was one of the only months that I didn't have a market, so that also contributes to that factor, of course. And by the way, you guys, I'm still kind of like getting over the flu. It's literally been like 3 weeks, so I'm just apologizing now because I can hear it in my own voice that I'm starting to sound weird because I've been talking for a while, but I really have been wanting to get this video out for you guys for a while, so I'm just filming it now, even though I still sound kind of weird. Anyways, on to February. I made $653 exactly on YouTube. On Etsy, I made $151.34. On Ribbler, I made $12.16. For orders, I made $308. At my market, I made $1,097. And then for affiliate marketing, I didn't make anything, but that totaled up to be $2,221.50. And at that point, that was the most I had made in my business. So of course, I was very happy with that. Now, for everything that I just listed off to you, the expenses are already subtracted besides markets. So I will subtract how much I paid for markets at the end. So just stay tuned for that. So for March, it still was less than February because I didn't have a market, but I did make more on my online platforms. So for YouTube, I made $925.26. For Etsy, I made $417.53. For Ribbler, I made $40.59. For CJT, which is the in-person store I sell at, Creative Junk Therapy, that was my first month selling there, and I didn't start selling till the end of the month, so I made $30.60. Then for orders, I made another $30, and affiliate marketing, I didn't make anything that month. So that was $1,443.98 for the month of March, which again, quite a bit less because I didn't have a market, but still more than January because my online revenue sources were starting to scale, which was obviously nice. Oh, and I said earlier that markets weren't subtracted. I also didn't subtract the amount that I pay to have my plushies up at the in-person store, but I did subtract that at the end. So all that is going to be included, don't worry. All right, next for April, on YouTube, I made really close to $1,000. I remember being so bummed this month because I wanted to hit that $1,000 mark so bad, and I was less than $4 short. So I made $996.01. So I was $3.99 short. But it's not that big a deal. I just remember I was like, I wish it would have went up just a tiny bit more. But anyways, that's what I made on YouTube in April. On Etsy, I made $432.56. On Ribbler, I made $53.95. At the in-person store, I made $53.40. For orders, I made $25. For my market in April, I made $1,261. And affiliate marketing, I made $18.24. So all of that was a total of $2,830.16. Now moving on to May, I definitely made the most this month out of like any month, I think. Almost any month. This was my second most profitable month. So for May, I made $1,362.36 on YouTube. I made $490.93 on Etsy. I made $43.74 on Ribbler, $45 at the in-person store, $70 on orders, $963 at my market, and $57.29 with affiliate marketing. So that was a total of $3,032.32, which that number is just so satisfying to look at. But that was my total for May. So June, I want to explain a few things. First off, I did do markets in June, July, and August. I do have the videos here on my channel if you guys want to see them. They were much smaller markets and they were free ones at the in-person store I sell at. So since I already sell there, I didn't have to pay to set up at the store. But because they were much smaller, I didn't make near as much at those events. And because those were the only events I was doing and I didn't have any regular markets going on, I did a plushie drop in June. So you'll notice my Etsy revenue is quite a bit more than it typically is, and that's because that plushie drop was on Etsy. So that was the one and only time, well, not only time, but that was the one time in 2023 that I did actually post items on my Etsy and then ship them out for people that ordered them. So anyways, just thought I would make you aware of that since it's more than like double the amount that I typically make on Etsy. Anyways though, for YouTube in June I made $1,381.14. For Etsy, like I mentioned, it was quite a bit more. I made $869.63. For the in-person store, this amount I made does include what I sold at that pop-up market that we had that month, as well as it includes the normal stuff I was selling day to day, and that was $114.30. On Ribbler, I made $39.39. I did $20 in orders, and I made $34.98 in affiliate marketing. So that was $2,459.64. For July, you'll notice I have a market listed, even though I didn't actually do a market. Again, it was just that like pop-up event that I did at the in-person store. But this time I decided to take people's payment myself instead of going through the store. So in June when I did the event, I went through the store, so they took a commission. In July and August when I did the same event, I took people's payment directly from them, and that way I didn't have to give the fee to the store, if that makes sense. So it's listed separately in July and August because I took the payment myself instead of going through the store. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm explaining that so confusingly, but anyways, it's just listed separately because of that. So July on YouTube, I made $1,098.56. Etsy in July, I made $418.72. The in-person store, I made $75.65. Ribbler, I made $38.49. At my market, which again was that pop-up event in front of the in-person store, I made $112. And then affiliate marketing, I made $23.65. All of that was a total of $1,767.07. So next we're moving on to August, which I had quite a dip in YouTube, I will say. I don't remember if maybe I just had a dip in views. That's probably what it was. But in general, that just happens sometimes. It's so unpredictable. So with YouTube, I made $865.18. With Etsy, I made $420.01. The in-person store, I made $49.30. For Ribbler, I made $32.38. For my market, I made $30. And then for affiliate marketing, I made $61.03. So that was a total of $1,457.90. Now for September, I had my first kind of like big market back of the season. So it was a 2-day market. So you'll notice that the market amount, of course, significantly increases from here on out since my markets were starting back up. So for YouTube that month, I made $958.81. For Etsy, I made $262.95. That's a big dip for my Etsy, and I don't think I really was releasing any sort of patterns at that time. I was so focused on prepping for my markets that were coming up and the season coming up, so I think that's why I had quite a significant dip in the amount I was selling on Etsy. Anyways though, for the in-person store, I sold $49.30. For Ribbler, I sold $27.48. For my market, I sold $655. And for affiliate marketing, I made $39.17. So all of that was a total of $1,992.71. Now for October, I had 3 days of markets, so one 2-day market, and then the following weekend I had a 1-day market, and all those markets went really well for me. So with that being said, October was the most I made out of any month in the year. So for YouTube, I made $914.47. For Etsy, I made $467.05. For the in-person store, I made $103.40. For Ribbler, I made $40.14. For all of those markets, I made $2,415. For orders, I made $30. And for affiliate marketing, I made $60.28. So all of that was a total of $4,030.64. So again, that was the biggest amount that I made for any month this year. Next, we are on to November, which for YouTube I made $1,108.26. For Etsy, I made $407.18. For the in-person store, I made $118.40. For Ribbler, I made $17.48. For my markets, which I did have 2 different markets this month, I made $1,295. For orders, I made $96. And for affiliate marketing, I made $53.64. So that was a total of $2,299.96, which that's another one of those numbers where it's like, I wish I could have just made like $1 more and then it would have been over the 3,000 mark. But it's okay, that's just how it worked out. Now for December, things took quite a big dip, I will say, especially on my YouTube. I did miss some uploads because I was sick. Still have been sick, as you guys know. And in general, I haven't been releasing as many patterns. I feel like life circumstances has just been slowing me down, kind of starting late November and into early December, and then even now into January, unfortunately. But we're getting all that fixed soon, so it'll be better. But anyways, just prefacing that because I did make significantly less in the month of December. And I have like my birthday and all my family's birthdays and stuff in December, so it was just a crazy month in my personal life too. But anyways, for YouTube, I made only $608.17, which was a big like hit, I felt like. As well as for Etsy, I only made $281.69. Again, those were both like big hits because those are both pretty big income sources for me typically, or 2 of my biggest ones typically. So the fact that I didn't make as much on those was pretty not great, of course. Oh, and then how am I forgetting? In December, I was supposed to have the same market that I typically do, and I didn't because it got rained out. So that was another big reason why I did not make near as much. But anyways, for my in-person store, I sold $118.15. And I started crochet classes in the month of December. So I made $75 off of those, which that is after the commission that the store takes and everything. For Ribbler, I made $22.65. For affiliate marketing, I made $45.57. And I did finally break it down for the month of December. Every other month I didn't break it down for some reason. But for December, I made $20 off of Creative Crochet Corner, which I am an affiliate of. And then the rest of the money was from Amazon, which I'm also an affiliate of. And then an income source that I added, which was also a goal of mine in 2023, and I just barely made it in December, was TikTok. I had a goal set that I wanted to make money from either Instagram or TikTok, and then like a few months into 2023, or maybe it was even a few weeks into 2023, Instagram stopped like paying creators for reels and stuff, so that was not realistic anymore. So I had to shift my focus to TikTok. And TikTok, I make money through you guys sending gifts and things on lives. So thank you in advance if you ever join me on my lives, and thank you especially if you have ever sent gifts and stuff to me. It's obviously greatly appreciated. Not necessary, of course, but definitely appreciated. So anyways though, I made $21.84 on TikTok, which is not that much in the grand scheme of things, but it was just cool to barely reach that goal in December, which was just making money from a different platform. So anyways, the total for December was $1,173.07, which again, kind of a hard-hitting month. YouTube didn't do as well, Etsy didn't do as well, and I didn't have a market. So my top 3 income sources were a lot less than normal, obviously, one of them being 0. So anyways, though, with that, I'm going to give you guys the total amount that I made for 2023, which this first total that I'm giving you does not include my expenses for markets and the in-person store, but it does already subtract the expenses for Etsy fees and things like that. So basically, the way I should explain it is it doesn't include how much it cost me to sell my plushies at different places, but it does include anything online as far as fees and taxes and things like that. So for 2023 total, not including those expenses, I made $26,129.88 from my crochet business. Now, I did do the math, and between how much I paid for each one of the markets I did, as well as the $20 a month that I paid at my in-person store to sell there, I had $820 in expenses for those. So once you subtract that, I made $25,309.88. So that is technically what I made, and now yes, that does not include expenses as far as materials and yarn and that kind of thing. I told myself I was going to do a better job keeping track of how much yarn I bought and what I bought it for and everything, and I just didn't. Like, it completely escaped my mind because I'm so bad about, I'm just gonna buy this yarn here and this yarn there and whatever, and then not keeping receipts and not writing things down and all that. So hopefully I can do a better job of that in 2024. I'm currently filming this on the 16th of January, and I still have yet to buy any yarn. Round of applause for me, because I need to use up this stuff. But hopefully when I do buy yarn, I will be better at keeping track of the expenses, because I also need to do that for tax purposes, not even just to tell you guys the expenses. But I really do in 2023 want to do a better job of only buying yarn when I am actually like using it up. So if I use up red Parfait Chunky, I'll buy another red Parfait Chunky. Otherwise, I don't want to buy it. That's my goal for the year. We'll see if that actually works out. But I feel like, especially for expenses and stuff, it would be great theoretically if I could do that. But anyways, I apologize that I'm not including those type of expenses. Like I said, I just did not do a good job keeping track of it. So I don't want to like fully subtract it and be wrong about it, if that makes sense. So if I had to guess, it's probably $500 to $1,000 in the material costs, I would say, that I used. That does not mean the material costs that I bought. I probably bought more yarn than that, to be honest. But in the amount that I used for items that I'm actually selling and stuff, probably about that much. But again, I'm not sure because I didn't keep track. But anyways, I hope you can forgive me for not keeping track of it, and here's to 2024 of doing a better job for that. Alright you guys, that is all for today's video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found it sort of inspirational or maybe motivational to maybe start your own Etsy or start doing markets in 2024 or anything along those lines. I always love sharing this kind of stuff with you guys, just to show you that running a business like this can be a reality for anybody. I mean, if I did it, I truly believe anybody can do it, and I have a lot of videos that I'm sure would help you if you know, just want to check those out. But seriously, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you found this helpful and inspirational. Now, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what you thought. If you are wanting to start markets or start an Etsy, or just add new income sources to your business or even start a crochet business in 2024. I would love to hear all that kind of stuff from you guys in the comment section down below. Now, if you do want to see more videos like this one as well as all my other videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the post notification bell. That way you know every single time I upload a brand new video. And if you guys do want to see more from me, of course, you can check out more videos of mine, my blog, my Etsy shop, my Ribbler shop, all of my social medias, and my second channel. All of that is always included in the description box of every single video for you guys. So with all of that, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys here in the next one. Goodbye.